What's going on, everyone? My name is Myles K. Farrington. I'm here with my two co-hosts.
Hey, I'm Adam. What's up?
And,
Jordan!
alright, there we go. And we are here to bring you MONG Podcast, episode 127, They See Me Riding Dirty. Yes, this is a reference to a song that came out when I was in high school. Yeah,
Yeah, it's an old song.
yeah, either high school or middle school. Yeah, whichever one. I'm young. I'm spry. Ah!
We
Any,
have lost an Adam.
yeah, Adam's gone. He's already done with
Adam
this.
down.
Anyway, yeah, this is the Mong Podcast. If you don't know, and we are a website, Middle of Nowhere Gaming. You should go check it out if you haven't yet already. So, anyway, moving on. What are any site-wide things going on right now, Mister Editor in Chief, Pink Shirt Man?
It's Sam.
It's pink. We're not going to do that on this podcast.
Okay, let's see. How far back do we want to go? Back to the last podcast episode? Because, I mean, that's a ways.
Let's just get. Well, I mean, we did a podcast
Alright,
last week.
let's do it.
Let's do like this week.
Chris Cobb has a editorial up called Resident Evil is Dead.
He does.
Moving on. It's pretty interesting. It's about his impressions of the demo. Tyler Fisher has an editorial about We Happy Few and his opinion of it being E3's sleeper hit. You got an opinion on that?
That game looked really interesting. I watched gameplay and it just looked. I know it's supposed to be a survival game, but the gameplay just looked so boring. What I saw. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, so from what I understand, the gameplay is where it's going to be kind of. It reminded me of Minecraft when I heard of it, where like you get like thrown into a new area of the city every time that you play, and like it's so like you have to like kind of figure your way out through multiple playthroughs, and like gather things and craft things and figure out how to like manipulate people and like make your way out and fool them that you are happy. That you're like on joy or whatever it is, because everybody's like on this drug called joy, but you're a downer or something.
Yeah.
And you're not on joy. And I don't know, it seemed interesting. I haven't seen a lot of the actual gameplay of it, besides what I saw at that was the Microsoft press conference, I think. I think it was.
I think so.
But I like the style. I like that they're kind of going with the Bioshock-esque themes. It's a very dystopian thing, and the style is very, very Bioshock from what I've been able to tell. But anyways, so there's that on the website, as well as Riley Berry's editorial. Hitman is taking a summer vacation, and that's a good thing. Adam, you had a question?
No.
Comment? Oh, okay. And it's about how I believe Hitman right now, the current iteration is episodic, and it's going to be taking some time off to publish the next episode.
Okay, you'll have to read and find out why that's a good thing. As a human being who likes playing his stories, close together, so I know what's going on. I don't understand that one, but I clearly didn't read the story.
I think it has to do with I didn't edit it. I think Harry did, but I think it has to do with Riley's being the one who's reviewing the Hitman episodes, and he might have an opinion on how they've been turning out, and maybe it needs more time or something. Possibly.
Could be.
Otherwise, we've got the top 10 games of the year so far by Tyler Fisher. And those are the big ones, apart from all the news that you could see from E3. If you missed anything about E3, we've got all the press conferences covered except for PC, because no one cares.
There were games this year. I saw like 5 minutes of it.
Half-Life 3, so it's not noteworthy.
There was... I forgot what I saw, but there were games that were interesting. I didn't watch all of it because I had to go work out. All right. So the thank you as always for our writers, or to our writers, for pumping out that good content, giving people good things to read and funny or serious opinions, either or. We appreciate it. But there's also something else that someone wanted to shamelessly plug.
So, in honor of PlayStation Plus's free weekend this weekend. By the way, the PlayStation Plus is having a free weekend starting on Friday. We, Middle of Nowhere Gaming, will be doing episode 6. Adam, do you know?
Let's see. We did that one with like the shooters. Well, actually, I feel like
We're gonna say 6. We're gonna say it's episode 6.
sure.
So episode 6 of PlayStation Plus You and Me, where we're gonna be 4 of us. So far, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be the 4 of us. It's gonna be myself, Sean, Adam, and Charlie. You may have seen Charlie doing his thing on this Twitch stream. He's been playing a few games lately. You can check out his highlights on the YouTube channel or on Twitch if you happen to be on here. But the 4 of us are going to be playing NBA 2K16, which I have never played before and do not intend to play before playing it on Friday night. So it'll be super entertaining.
There's this guy here called Larry Bird. He doesn't look like a bird, though. Is he a harpy? Is he a half harpy?
I know next to nothing about basketball except where they keep running back and forth, throwing the ball into the hoop, and it's a high-scoring game, generally speaking.
Okay, that's about
I call dibs on Michael Jordan.
I call dibs on Charlie because Charlie's played it before.
Then it needs to be all of us versus Charlie.
Hey, every man, or not every man for himself, but, King of the Hill. Remove Charlie from his throne. But moving on. What's been going on? We did not do a personal week recap, I guess, whatever, from last week because we were so focused on E3 news because that took extra time, even though we cut out all the stuff that is usually at the beginning of the podcast. So, gentlemen, let's keep it to this week since last podcast because otherwise we're going to go really long on this section. But what have you all been up to? Adam, kick us off.
I have been playing a lot of a game that came out on PS4 a couple weeks ago. It's called Odin Sphere Left Razor.
Ooh.
And it's actually a kind of a remake, remaster of a PS2 game, and it's just absolutely gorgeous, like gorgeous, J action RPG.
So okay, I gotta ask, I gotta interrupt right away because I've been seeing this in the games shops, and they keep showing like the same trailer over and over again. And I don't see any gameplay. And it looks really pretty, but I don't see any gameplay like ever. So hit me with that.
Okay.
Sell this thing to me.
All right, so it kind of plays like any chance you've played Dragon's Crown, because that's probably the most comparable thing. It plays a lot like Dragon's Crown. It's kind of a side-scrolling brawler, except that's not fair. I don't want to compare it to something like Final Fight or Double Dragon because it's got so much more depth to it. It's a side-scrolling kind of brawler-ish game. There's deep RPG elements. There's a lot of upgrading, crafting, that kind of stuff. It's a huge game. Like right now, I'm probably not even halfway through it. I'm 20 hours into it. Basically, there's 5 different characters you play as, and each of them have their own in-depth story that weave in and out of one another. And so you basically play one character's story, and then you unlock like the storyline of the next character. And they've done a really good job of each character's unique enough that it doesn't feel like it's getting too redundant or repetitive because each character plays very differently. Like I said, the art is absolutely gorgeous. So is the music. It's got this kind of painted art that looks really good. And it's a real sleeper, man. It's like, I played the demo and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I think I might check this out. And then I bought it on a whim just to kind of celebrate leaving my old job. And yeah, it's really hooked me. Like I said, it's really, really, really strong.
Cool.
Yeah. Always nice when you find something that you might not have expected to be as amazing. That just kind of gets you, and it's like, oh, this is very fun.
Yep, this is definitely that.
Now, Jordan, what's your week game been like?
So I started playing. I bought it a long time ago, but I started playing Bastion on the Vita recently, and I've been enjoying that a decent amount. I've been riding the trains and the bus a lot more. My wife just recently got a new job, so I'm not driving as much, which is a pro and a con. But I've been having more time to myself, and especially with my Vita, so that's been really nice. On top of that, when I'm at home, I've been picking up The Last of Us remastered online again.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I really enjoyed when it was out originally. We've probably talked about that a decent amount on here. And I've been doing that and just, having fun getting drunk and talking to people and keeping them engaged. And then other than that, I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4 again. I've kind of been trying to prepare myself for when mods are released, because that's exciting. I'm not picking up any of the DLC yet. I restarted a character and I'm doing like a whole rifle thing, so I've got like a long range rifle and a shotgun, and it's been fun. I met a new character, Kate, who I hadn't encountered in my previous playthrough of the game. She's pretty cool. She carries a shotgun, and we're shotgun buddies. So that's where I'm at right now.
So I want to interject for a second because I've heard that The Last of Us online component's really kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Never played it. I do own the remastered version, so I'm reaching out that we should play sometime. You should show me what this is all about.
I would love to. I love it. It's the greatest. I used to play SOCOM 2 a lot, and it's the closest thing that I've been able to find to that. Just kind of a tactical experience where there are different ways, like different modes that you can play, but the one that I prefer is called Survivors, and it's lit like 1 life per round. So if you're out for the round. You have to really be careful and watch what you're doing, and help out your teammates and stuff. But my only complaint with it now is that Naughty Dog did the unspeakable and released a bunch of payable DLC. A lot of stuff where you can buy new weapons, and it's almost pay to win. There are just some things that are like, really, this weapon can do this, really. So that's a little annoying, but it's not the worst thing in the world, and I think it's still an overall really good experience, especially since like they've got this whole mini game with keeping your camp alive and stuff like that. So it's cool.
Nice. Well, my week has been playing the game of life. Not the actual game of life, which might have been fun, but the game of having a life and doing things for it. So we're gonna move on to the next topic.
You haven't played anything, Myles? You haven't played any? Come on, since
it's nothing new. I've been playing like Binding of Isaac again, not like solidly, just making like one good run a night. And I can't play Destiny now because my PlayStation Plus ran out again. So.
But you got a free weekend this weekend, Myles.
It's not the same. It's not the same as sitting here in my chair and being like, you know what? I want to play some Destiny. No, I have to wait for the weekend now. Meh.
All right. So I got a question for you, because you brought up Binding of Isaac a few times now, and I played through it one time, and I found it enjoyable, but I cannot imagine playing through it more than once.
Mm-hmm.
And I get why people do, but I'm curious why you do.
I like the random element and seeing what combination of nonsense my tiers can form. Like, I've had them either... one of my run-throughs, I had my tiers, then they were, like, all scythes, because I had the Death's Head pickup, and that's something you have to unlock. So I had that, and they were all big enough where one tier was taking up the whole screen. So, yeah, it was just a cakewalk through the end from that point. But it was just, like, I like seeing what can happen, because I know if you get, like, Brimstone and rubber cement, you can like shoot the brimstone laser and it'll like bounce off walls and stuff. So I like the synergy of items. I like seeing what silly things can happen.
So is that like what you would say your goal is for the game then? Because I mean, I'm assuming you've unlocked everything by this point.
I have not unlocked everything. I am close to unlocking everything. My goal was to unlock a hidden character where you have to beat greed mode and you have to donate 99 coins or 999 coins to the greed machine. And I was doing that, and then I realized that the greed machine is just like the donation machine where it can break at any point. And that means pretty much I spent all that time getting to the final boss, beating the final boss, and then it can just break after me putting in 3 coins even if I have 99. And that happened to me last night. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing that anymore because I don't know if that's worth my time anymore.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's greed mode is Very straightforward. It's not the same as normal mode. It's like, Adam, we lost your camera, but it's like it's just straight on. You get your items, you go, you kill bosses, etc., etc. Oh, Adam's completely gone. Rip Adam, but he'll be back shortly. But anyway, yeah, it's a slightly different, so it goes a little faster, but not fast enough where I feel like I want to risk. Oh my god. Oh, Skype is going crazy. Technical difficulties, people. But it happens. But yeah, so it's a lot. It's streamlined, but it's still not. It's still a lot of time to put in, especially if you don't get the right things. You have to keep restarting runs, and no one can see my face, and your face is huge right now. There we go. There we go. This is a moment.
Oh God. Oh
Yeah,
Jesus,
yeah.
happened. It happened.
I'm not gonna fix it because if I do, then the moment Adam comes back, it's just gonna get bunked up again.
We're all beautiful people.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to lean over like
You,
this for the whole podcast.
you get to really inspect like how beautiful the salmon color is
Yeah,
on me.
I want that shirt, and it's pink, not salmon. Anyway, we should let's go ahead and move on to news, and
Yeah.
Adam can jump in when he gets back.
Yeah.
You should move your head so it's at least the top of it is in your camera.
All right. I'll figure this out.
Okay. Anyway, first story of this week. This is wonderful. What awful thing we're doing right now.
I think we're going the wrong way. I think I'm actually moving the wrong way.
No, you should do that because then you have like your face
I
set
think it's
in
this way. I
Adams.
think it's this way, isn't it?
Either or, you can be in Adams or your own right now.
Okay.
Oh, this is what we get for I don't know. There's no alternative to Skype really. Anyway, the first story of the week is that E3 that God of War 4, which is what I'm going to call it until they tell me not to, could have actually been set in Egypt. And it's going to be kind of difficult reading this and keeping my face in this little box that I have right now. I feel like I'm Dobby from like Harry Potter. No, Dobby, don't hit Dobby. Anyway, Sony unveiled a new God of War during E3, and if you haven't seen that trailer, you should probably go watch it. It's one of the best things I saw at E3. And as rumored, the game draws inspiration from Norse mythology. However, Sony Santa Monica once considered a focus on Egyptian mythology for the game. Half the team was way into that. Sony Santa Monica creative director Cory Barlog, said during a roundtable interview as reported by Eurogamer. Thank you, Eurogamer. Egyptian mythology is about the pharaohs as embodiments of gods on Earth, and there's a lot more about civilization. He continued, it's less isolated, less barren. Because of that, the team chose to move away from that idea and towards the Norse setting as they wanted to focus to stay on Kratos. Having too much, and this is a quote, having too much around distracts from the central theme of a stranger in a strange place, Barlog said. And he also said God of War is about Kratos teaching his son how to be a god, and his son teaching Kratos how to be a human again, which is really interesting, and I'm happy that that's a thing. And yeah, so that's what Barlog had to say about God of War 4, and it makes sense. If you look at any of the other God of War games, pretty much people are only there as stepping tools or stepping stones for Kratos to, either literally step on or to kill so that he can get something. So I don't think he really needs to be around a lot of other people. One other character is a start for him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think that it's definitely relieving that they're moving more away from. Yeah, no, that we're moving away from. They're moving away from the spectacle of God of War. Like it's not going to be so much about like, oh, look how pretty it is. Look how great this looks. Like they could have easily done that by going to Egypt and like just have everything be gold like plated. It wouldn't have been as story driven, or maybe like wouldn't have had as much of a focus on the characters. Now, what I don't like is that they're talking a lot about what this game's about. I think it's cool that those are themes for the game, but it's a little disappointing that they're not going to just let people experience that on their own. I feel like that's a theme that people would have come to on their own and been like, oh, that's super cool. And now it's kind of ruined.
I feel like anyone who saw the trailer could have kind of at least started to glean that, though. Like, they could have been like, oh, he's trying to be a dude, not just an angry little ball of fury at this point.
Sure.
And honestly,
that's like a thing that I'm looking for in the game now. I'm going to be playing the game and be like, oh, yeah, no, this is another example. Oh, and another example. And like, I already know that rather than getting to the end and being like, oh, I get it.
Now, one thing I do like actually that I didn't even notice, he's trying to teach his son to become a god. So is his son just gonna kill all the Norse gods? Like, is he just like gonna beat them and then let his son do all the final blows so that he's the god of Greek mythology and his son is the god of Norse mythology? And also, I still want to know if that's actually his like this is my son or like if it's yeah okay me and your mom are cool so I'm gonna look after you like you're my son.
Hold on. We recently got a comment about that.
Ah, okay.
On one of the. Go ahead, Adam. Do you have any thoughts on the new God of War?
Looks cool.
That's a good enough thought. Um, but yeah, uh,
Sorry, I'm just
no, you're good.
checking real quick.
I know the kid at least has like the same, paper white skin tone, so that could be a thing that could mean that it is actually his kid.
Sure.
I had something. I would actually like. I think Egypt would be a really interesting place for this series, but at the same time, they do have a very good point. It's just like it's always been about Kratos and his personal issues with the people he's killing and no one else. Well, unless they get in his way, then they die. But I feel like that would be interesting to see someday, maybe, if they can make it work.
Mm,
Like, if Kratos becomes a normalized person who still murders a lot of people uh,
right.
by the end of either this game or, like, the trilogy. I assume it's going to be a trilogy again.
Probably. If they're calling it God of War again, then yeah, probably. So I did find the comment. It was on the YouTube channel. If you go to Middle of Nowhere Gaming on YouTube, you'll be able to find where we have all of our YouTube community. But the Andredal says it's been confirmed that Kratos is the father of the kid, and this is not a reboot. And that if you want more information on that, you can check out IGN's stage demo.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So, obviously we're not confirming that, but that's apparently a thing. So go check that out. What else was I gonna say about this? Yeah, I think that they're trying to humanize Kratos a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
They in the demo that we saw, like the things that he's attacking aren't human, like, and they're not bleeding like every other God of War game. Like he would, disembowel a centaur and blood's everywhere.
Yeah.
In this one, it seems like there's going to be more of a focus on making sure that he's not being a complete asshole the entire game, and like not just like killing people for the hell of it or because he's just really pissed off. Like in the third one, when he kills Hera, like that's a really brutal death though. But like she's like, I'm just saying though, she's like human shaped. She looks like a human. Like, and when he kills her, it looks like he's killing a human. It looks like he's killing someone else. And these are going to be like more. I think these are going to be more like demons, and these are going to be more along what.
Did you not see him kill Hercules? That guy looked human and he didn't have a face by the end of that.
No, I agree. I'm just saying. There are many, many, many examples in previous
Okay.
God of War games
Okay.
that are like that. I just thought of Hera. I don't know why.
I thought she had it coming personally.
Well, okay.
But anyway, we should probably move on. Adam, now that
Yeah.
you good to read your story, or do we need to skip over to Jibber?
Uh, buy me some time.
Okay,
All right. I can move on.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. I will do this one. So, apparently, to my despair, because I've been playing it recently in hopes that the mods will be coming out soon, Fallout 4 is having trouble with mods on PS4. This comes from Matt Porter on IGN. He says, it looks like Bethesda is having some trouble preparing for the upcoming PS4 private mod beta for Fallout 4. Mods came to the Xbox One version of Fallout 4 last month following the launch of the Far Harbor DLC and are expected to land on PS4 next month. However, Bethesda has outlined 3 known issues. Quote, PC textures are used. I don't really know what that means, but reads the first. Memory and performances issues may occur. We are working with Sony on optimal texture exporting support in a future update. Next, sound files are currently not supported due to Sony using a proprietary sound format. When has using a proprietary anything ever worked for Sony? Bethesda and Sony won't be working on sound processing support for a future update. Lastly, the PS4 mod storage limit is just 900 megabytes, so you'll be unable to upload any large mods. Again, the two companies are working together to try and increase the limit in the future. Despite these issues, Bethesda says the closed beta for PS4 mods is, quote, close to ready. Oh my god. It's gonna be Skyrim all over again. Skyrim on the PS3 all over again.
As someone who plays these games, who had Oblivion and Skyrim on PC, I assume the PC textures are used issue is like maybe there's different file formats or something for PC and PS4. That might be what that means. Which, that's already a problem. But the sound files are not currently supported. I have played mods that don't have proper sound. It is stupid. Like,
yeah.
It is really bad. And also the 900 megabytes, like some of the best mods out there are just completely visual rehauls, which are gigs. So that's so problematic, and that's why I have to admit I don't support mods on consoles. I'm not a PC elitist. I just don't think it's something that consoles should be putting power to. If someone really wants mods, they just need to play on PC.
Sure. I'm excited for it because I think it's eventually going to get to a place where it's gonna be not, I wouldn't say comparable to PC because it'll never be comparable to PC. Your PC is going to be able to have a lot more power to support these mods than your console ever will.
Mm-hmm.
But it is exciting for console gamers to be getting something like this, and I think that in the future it will be something that will be better supported, and it's going to be because of these first trips out, like these kind of journeymen that Bethesda are putting out there and trying to get it worked out on.
Yeah. Adam, do you have any thoughts on this issue over here?
Kind of sucks.
Kinda. Yeah.
Kind of very much sucks. Yeah, I just don't know what it is about PlayStation that gives Bethesda fits, but it's too bad.
Adam, are you excited about the mods on PlayStation 4? Are you going to be coming back to Fallout for it?
I'll probably check it out at some point. Probably more specifically, as I think I said on the last podcast. I'm probably coming back for the theme park expansion, but I definitely probably check out the mods. I think mods by themselves aren't necessarily enough for me to want to revisit a game.
Sure.
Yeah, that's valid. And you know what? If you're playing on PS4, mods won't be any reason to revisit the game because you won't be able to run them.
Ouch.
All right, we're gonna jump back to Adam. You ready to read?
Yep.
Okay.
Another report suggests a PS4 Neo release this year. After a previous report suggested that PS4 Neo will see a release by September, another sources claim knowledge of a 2016 launch for Sony's mid-generation upgrade. Sony decided not to show the console at E3 despite confirming its existence a week before the LA event, which led some to believe it might be further away than previously expected. However, Eurogame's Richard Ledbetter has now said that several sources have indicated to me that the PlayStation Neo launches this year despite its E3 no-show. Ledbetter previously confirmed the code name and specifications for the PS4 Neo well before Sony's official confirmation, so he can be considered a reliable source. Perhaps in a hint at Sony's own plans after Microsoft announced its own mid-gen console upgrade, Project Scorpio, Sony's Andrew House said the move surprised him, pointing out there's a much heavier emphasis on immediate gratification these days than there was. I think that if this is true, which I actually think it's likely, it seems all signs are that pointing to the fact that the Neo is going to be sooner rather than later. I think this is going to be a real problem for Microsoft because I was already shocked that Microsoft, like when Microsoft finally announced their new Xbox or Project Scorpio, that it was going to be holiday 2017. It's not going to be doing them any favors if Sony gets to the market first and potentially like an entire year first.
Sure. I don't know. I'm still really, really interested in how this is all going to pan out, just because my original theory was that Neo wasn't at E3 because Sony had gotten wind of all the rumors that were circulating that Scorpio was going to be super powered. And it seems like that's going to be the case. But I assumed that they were going to be going back and saying, okay, well, what can we do to improve the specs on our new system? And if they're coming out with it this year, that's not what they're doing. So yeah, Adam, they're going to probably be banking on the fact that their system's coming out a whole year earlier than Microsoft's. Now, price difference, we really don't know what's going to be the difference between Scorpio and Neo. And there's also another huge unknown, which is NX. And I think that these three consoles are going to be what this generation is defined by, not the PS4, Xbox One, Wii U. This is going to be a huge, huge competition between these three. And if NX is at all competitive and has any third-party support, it's going to be right back in the game.
Now, I suppose on the flip side, this also could work out for Microsoft, because on the other side of this is that if Sony releases their upgraded console now, and then they release theirs about a year from now, it certainly helps the possibility of more of a cross audience for them, because potentially what they would be seeing is people make the jump on one console now. They say, okay, well, I'm going to get the new PS4, and if their console comes out a year from now, that's like a year worth of time where people have had time to replenish funds, potentially have the money to buy another console. While, had they come out at the same time, there would have been a lot more of a dividing line of, which team are you playing on here?
Nah, this is just a weird situation to me. Just because, like I said it last time, I feel like Microsoft being kind of dumb putting out the Xbox S right now, or the Xbox One S right now, and it sounds like if what they've been saying is any indicator, what with all the teraflops, all those teraflops, the teraflops, I forget what the gigawatts joke is, but input that with teraflops. I feel like it's just gonna blow the Neo out of the water, and like, I guess a year is good, but I don't know. It's just like I don't know how to feel about this, just because the Neo, it's going to be a console, of course, which, I mean, it needs support, so it needs good games in that year, which we might get them at the very end of it, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know. This is a big, silly situation to me, just because it seems like I kind of want a Neo. I don't ever want an Xbox One now, since I can play everything on PC, but it's just like, if it's going to come out and be less powerful, then I feel like a year doesn't really matter to me. I have a very weird opinion on this, though, because I don't plan on. I don't know.
I mean, I think that there are a lot of people out there who will decide which one they want, and they're not going to buy the other one, regardless of the amount of time they have to save up money for another thing, because it's a commitment. Like, you buy a PlayStation 4, you buy an Xbox One, and you're committed to that platform, unless unless you're more of a I don't know, a gamer who wants to play something that's on Xbox and on PS4 that's exclusive to both of them, which I don't think there are many people out there. I think that there are a lot of people who are fairly centered in their Xbox communities, and they're fairly centered in their PlayStation communities. But essentially, you're going to be buying the PlayStation 4, and it's going to come out with enough exclusives for you to continue investing into that. By buying more and more of their exclusive games, or their non-exclusive games, their third-party games, and that's just going to be your console of choice for the generation. And then again, that may be that the Xbox One's coming out with or Microsoft's coming out with the Xbox One S, so that it can be competitive this year. It is coming out in August. Is that what I heard? The One S.
I'm not absolutely sure. We can confirm or disbelieve that.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and look that up. But yeah, I think that that's what they're trying to do, is to kind of say, okay, if you want an Xbox, now's your time to get it here. If you want to hold off, if you already have an Xbox One, you want to hold off until next year, there's going to be this more expensive model. Who knows how much it's going to cost? But if you really want to be an Xbox gamer, this is what you're going to play it on. And PlayStation's thing is probably going to be a lot more focused on VR. I mean, I think it's getting clearer and clearer based on the rumors that are coming out that the reason why they made PS 4.5 is because they wanted VR games to operate better. So time will tell with the specs, but I think that I think they both have decent plans.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Myles.
No, I'm sorry. I was like reading something that said I looked up release date, right? And I clicked the article, and I got all the way through the article, and the release date was not listed. So I was just confused, very confused. God, it's coming out this year. I can't seem to find a release date for some reason, even though that seems like the most easy thing, and Google should have it like just listed over here. Um, yeah. But anyway, Charlie made a very good point. As a console gamer, I'm only buying NX, and there's no reason for me to buy these other two systems because there aren't exclusives that I can't play on a cheaper system. And he's kind of right. I kind of agree, unless NX, they finally tell us what exactly it is, and it's another, dumb decision on their part, which I hope is not, because I do want to play the new Zelda, and I do want to get back into Nintendo gaming, but they just keep spurring me away. They're just like, oh, you want to play Nintendo? Let's stab you a few times and see if you still want to. But yeah, there's a lot of nonsense going on with consoles right now. So
It is August, by the way.
it is August. Okay.
The 1S.
I don't know why I could not find that anywhere.
It was hard to find. Yeah, I agree. Like there were a lot of articles that were like release date and just totally buried it.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're in the interesting place. You want to go ahead and do yours, Jordan? Since
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Since it's the thing where we don't learn anything.
I guess.
So in the ongoing saga of Hideo Kojima talking about his video games that you'd learn nothing new about, but it's in the news cycle for some reason, we have Kojima Productions, quote, very close to full production on Death Stranding. This is from Nicole Carpenter on IGN. Once Hideo Kojima Productions Hideo Kojima's Kojima Productions, that's weird, decides on its engine, Death Stranding will enter full production. There are currently 2 candidates, Kojima told Eurogamer. We are getting to a very good point, but how we are feeling about the visuals, so we are very close to making a decision on the game engine, he said. And once that is decided, we will be in full production. Death Stranding's E3 teaser trailer was made using one of the 2 candidates. Quote, for the new game elements, I want to try you always want to make it and then evaluate and iterate. And those we are doing on the other game engine candidate, Kojima added. Kojima also spoke about his partnership with Sony, citing his trust in the publisher as one reason he chose the company. Quote, with Sony, I have a relationship that goes back over 20 years. There's already this connection, he said. When starting a company and trying to create a product, there are so many problems that come up, Kojima added, and within that, I want to focus as much as possible on my creative labors. I want to keep away the noise as much as possible. In that regard, I think I made the right choice.
Kojima, the master of saying a lot and saying nothing at the same time.
2 engines. One of them was shown at E3. Who knows about the other one? I think this is like a bidding war right now he's got going on. He's just like trying to.
I'll tell you that. I'll feel really salty if I was the other engine and he didn't use my stuff for E3. It's like, what? Why are you even talking to us? Just use them if you're gonna use them in your E3 trailer.
How much is it gonna cost me? Maybe I'll put it on E3 trailer.
Exactly. Let's go ahead and read mine, which I feel like we have 2 very contradictory articles because yours is him saying nothing and mine is kind of him giving out details.
Learned something new about it.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, more cryptic Death Stranding details from Kojima, also on IGN. Actually, I'm kind of curious. When was yours posted and when was mine posted?
Mine was fairly recent. I think it was like today.
Yours was after my. Okay, I don't even.
No, it was yesterday.
Yeah, mine was on the 15th.
I'm telling you, he's just trying to stay in the news cycle. That's all this is. He's
That
just
seemed like
like,
it.
oh, I'll just like throw out another soundbite, and then somebody will write an article about it, and it's Kojima. So who the fuck gives a shit if it means anything?
The next story we're gonna hear is Ludin's last name is X. It's gonna be
And it
like,
ends up being X.
I hope not, because that's even dumber than having the Death Stranding name as your game. Uh, I think that's a dumb title, people. Anyway, to quote, I want to make something new, something different. I know this already seems like he's not going to be saying anything. But anyway, in an interview with IGN at this year's E3, Hideo Kojima revealed the first details about his new studio's upcoming game, Death Stranding. Still a dumb name. According to Kojima, Death Stranding will be recognizable as an action game, which I thought was interesting, to players familiar with the genre. What does that mean? But that he hopes to do something new with it. Okay. Metal Gear was an action game, Kojima tells IGN, but it was an action game where you happened to be hiding. There was no genre for that back then, and now it's classified as a stealth game. In that regard, Death Stranding will also be an action game, but I want to make something new, something different. Kojima has said before that Kojima Productions' upcoming project, revealed on Monday during Sony's E3 2016 press conference, will appeal to fans of AAA titles such as The Division and Uncharted. Uh, and I quote, people that play action games will be able to pick it up easily, Kojima tells IGN. After that, like 2 to 3 hours into the game, they'll start feeling like, okay, this is something different, this is something new. While Kojima didn't dive too deeply into what this means for Death Stranding's gameplay, he did reveal some details about the game's themes. One of the key things evident from Death Stranding's E3 2016 reveal trailer is the idea of life and death being connected to each other, according to Kojima. Animals are connected with each other, people are connected to each other, so many things are connected, Kojima tells IGN. But it's a short story by Kobo Abe. Cabo
Kobo
Abe.
Abe. I think it's Kobo Abe.
Kobo Abe. Okay, I'm cultured. That Kojima points to as a way to explain one of Death Stranding's strongest themes. In this short story, Abe. Oh my God, this is a lot longer than I thought it was. In this short story, Abe tells the first tool mankind created is a stick. Kojima tells IGN. He states the stick is the first tool that mankind created to put distance between himself and bad things, to protect himself. He states the second tool mankind created is rope. A rope is a tool used to secure things that are important to you.
There are metaphors in my game. You can expect images.
Oh God! Kojima points to the umbilical cord in the trailer, the rope-like umbilical cords hanging from the actual title of the game. I thought that was blood, honestly. Most of your tools in action games are sticks. Kojima continues: you punch or you shoot or you kick. The communication is always through these sticks. This is not this silly first time I read it.
Keep going.
In Death Stranding, I want people to be connected, not through sticks, but through what would be the equivalent of ropes.
But of course.
Oh God! But of course you'll be able to But of course you'll be able to use the sticks too.
Is Kojima just like currently high? Is that like really the driving force here?
Oh God! It's not done yet. Surprise, fans. How this idea manifests in-game remains to be seen, but Kojima says there are other small things and small messages hidden in the Death Stranding trailer. See it for yourself, and let us know what you find in the comments, or check out what you... Yeah, blah, blah, blah. That trailer's...
Charlie Savage in the comments. Stick and rope, a Kojima production.
So, I'm calling it now. Death Stranding is going to be a 40-hour escort mission in which you have to lead a ghost baby, around with a rope and keep things away with a stick.
I'm going for it. Yep, sounds accurate. The ghost baby actively tries to get itself killed.
That article went on way too long.
I proofread that too, and it did not seem that insane when I first read through it.
So Myles, please elaborate.
Oh,
what did we learn from that article?
Literally out of all of that text, the only thing we learned is that it's going to be an action game that is an action game but not a stealth game, and you're going to use sticks and ropes. You're going to beat people with sticks and hang them with ropes.
It'll be a kind of game that you don't expect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, and 2 to 3 hours in, you're going to be like, ooh, this is different. Go ahead.
It's like Uncharted.
Oh.
And The Division.
which
and the
is
division.
kind of like only one of those is good, right? I'm talking about Uncharted. Division's awful.
So, like, half related note, but I was kind of like impressed. Is did you see? Even you guys see the picture that made the rounds that somebody already went and cosplayed as Norman Reedus from Death Stranding at like a con?
No.
Yeah, there was totally a dude who like got himself some flesh covered shorts and like put a bunch of baby fan prints over his like body and wandered around with he got like a baby.
Oh
And
my god.
he was Death Stranding Norman Reedus.
Oh, the face he's making.
There's also a picture of him with Norman Reedus at the thing too.
Oh Jesus. That's gonna be one of the one of the pictures for the. I can't even words. I'm already loving this game, and not for the reasons that I guarantee you Kojima wants me to love it for.
There's also been like a really amazing string, like where a bunch of people have started taking the picture of Norman Reedus and just like photoshopping it so he's holding random things other than the baby.
Yeah, I've seen that. Oh god. This is. We should move on because this has been the best segment of the show so far, but we should probably move
Oh,
on.
I mean, this is definitely going to be a recurring segment. I am certain of it.
Oh yeah.
He is going to have something new every week about this game that tells you absolutely nothing until it is released.
The
Yeah.
Kojima whole lot of nothing segment.
Yeah.
New podcast segment. All right, Adam. What is your last story, my friend?
Uh, Ed Boon would be open to a horror movie fighting game. While speaking with Ed Boon at the Mortal Kombat X Pro League Finals in Los Angeles, we got on the subject. This is actually from Game Informer, by the way. We got on the subject of guest characters that have appeared both in Mortal Kombat and Injustice series. I was able to get a little insight in how the team decided which guest characters to include as DLC for the NetherRealms fighting game, as well as whether we'll ever see the studio tackle a fighting game based on horror film icons. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to kind of jump through because we're not really talking about the characters. But when asked about the possibility of using this trend of guest characters and throw them all together in one big horror icon showdown, Boone was not dismissive of the idea. Yes, he said, quote unquote, yes, yes. As we've been accumulating them, the idea has been coming up more and more frequently. You brought it up, and a few other people have brought it up. Like, why don't you guys do a horror movie fighting game? Maybe one day we'll do it.
That.
I kind of.
Go ahead.
Good.
No, your story. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I would be so freaking down with like a Mortal Kombat style game that features just horror movie icons. That'd be freaking amazing.
Yeah, that is definitely one of the more ripe mythos, I guess. I don't know what this proper term would be, but that's definitely a ripe playground to get characters for fighting games. It's kind of obvious because as we see, Mortal Kombat's been doing it, or NetherRealms has been doing it for Mortal Kombat for a little bit. They've just been like, yeah, let's pick up this guy and this guy and this guy.
Yeah.
So it seems kind of like a natural evolution thing, if you ask me. And I'm surprised it hasn't been done yet. Oh wait, it has been, but that game was banned, so we don't talk about that game.
I wouldn't be surprised if this turns out becoming like a DLC thing for Mortal Kombat, or a Mortal Kombat. Like, I don't know that this is going to get its own game. I'm not really sure how they would sell it. But I think that you could very easily say, okay, here's some skins, or and then that way, like, the characters just kind of work the same way that the other characters would in a Mortal Kombat game. Mm-hmm. They just look different. Their weapons look different, all that different sort of thing. Yeah, I'm not convinced that this is actually going to happen.
I don't know if I agree with you. Whether it will happen or not, I agree. I don't know, but I mean, the idea of like gathering a bunch of horror movie, basically gathering a bunch of horror movie characters into one game and making a game that's a loving homage to the horror genre, I kind of think that there's enough of an audience that they could sell it. It wouldn't be that difficult to sell it.
I don't think so.
It's getting really niche though, because like it would be a fighting game that's also drawing in cult classic horror fans.
DC Injustice worked.
Yeah, honestly, as long as it has the right
Sure.
mechanics, they can get it into Evo. And if they can get it into Evo, there will be professional fighting game players who will play it.
Sure.
So then they have the attention. As long as it has good mechanics, they'll have the attention of the fighting game community, and they will also have the attention of people who are just like, oh, hey, I've always wanted to see who would win in Freddy v Jason, even though it's based on my skill and not the characters in this situation. Let's go,
And particularly, I'd love it if they threw together like just a crazy go nuts story that explains why all these horror movie icons are facing off against each other.
That would be cool.
Plenty of like unlockables about the franchises, and like I said, I think it's pretty much a given that the fighting mechanics would be solid, given who would be making it.
Yeah. They come from a very strong pedigree. We have been joined by I'm not even gonna try and come up with a funny name for him, but if you're watching, you should be watching after that Norman Reedus thing. We've been joined by someone special for this podcast, and he's gonna stay there until the end. But anyway,
he also looks a lot like Josh Groban for some reason.
A little bit.
Oh yeah, I can see that. This has been fun. But anyway, moving on. The last story. I also forgot to press the news from nowhere button earlier, and I apologize, fans and people who watch and listen. Anyway, our thought from nowhere this week is: what vehicle from a gaming franchise do you want to own in real life? An example would be Twisted Metal's Sweet Tooth ice cream truck, and that was, of course, from one and only most prolific question asker, Chris Cobb. So, gents, have either of you thought about this? Now, what scale do we want this to be on? Do we want this to be on the scale of literally any vehicle from a video game, or do we want it to be like something that is actually a car or that you could drive theoretically without having to have like more learning experience, probably?
I mean, both of my things like require more learning experience.
Okay, all right. Screw it. Go ahead. What you got?
All right. So number one is a competition between two.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to decide between these two: Metal Gear Rex or Metal Gear Ray.
That's not Those aren't vehicles.
Those are vehicles.
No, how are those vehicles?
They move.
I don't know. I don't want that. I don't accept this.
You could take Metal Gear Rex to the corner store.
You totally could. You totally could.
But that's a robot. I mean, it's a robot. It's not a vehicle. Fine. I don't care. Whatever. I'm gonna say Gundam then.
I guess any robot's just fine. No, I don't know. It's a manned mechanism that I would call it a vehicle. You get into it to move, and like it's the same as a tank.
Do people actually ride inside of Metal Gear Rex?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, I will admit I'm not very familiar with that. The only time I saw something that was like Metal Gear Rex was when you had to kill it in Metal Gear 4. So I'll give you that. Okay. So I did not know people get inside Metal Gear.
No, those things don't count. The cows don't count.
Oh, I wasn't counting the cows. The one that you kill is Raiden, or that Raiden kills, I guess.
Those are Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't see anybody riding in it though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Snake gets in it, and so does someone else. Was it
in Metal Gear 4?
Yeah.
I don't
you go back to
that.
Shadows and like you get in Metal Gear Rex.
Oh, I don't remember that at all. It's been a minute since I played the game. Anyway, fine. He's a vehicle. It passes.
Anyway, so yeah. So I can't decide between the two. Like Ray is amphibious, which is pretty cool, and it's got a really cool style. It's got like a whip, I think, if I remember correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. Do you know that?
I think that's right.
It's got like a laser beam, like shoots out water like really hard. It's really cool.
I remember.
But then like Rex is classic and like it's got the style. It's pretty cool looking. But other than those, because clearly those would never happen, a chocobo.
I guess that's technically a vehicle also. Why are you breaking the rules?
It's not breaking the rules. The rules were not very strongly established.
I had a thought, and I had it when I had decided on that you ruined it by thinking of stuff like Metal Gears and Chocobo. Adam, what do you have?
For the possibility of much cooler ideas, the one I kept on circling for is I want Roach the horse from like Witcher 3. He's a horse. His name is Roach. He seems to like stay alive even though he's in a really, really barren and messed up land. And above all else, he's like a magical transporting horse because no matter where Geralt like whistles for him, like even if you like wandered the entire world away from the horse, like he'll just magically show up.
It's true.
So I gotta ask you though, like if we're talking about horses, you want Roach or you want Epona?
I'm sticking with Roach on this one. I thought about Epona, but Roach the horse.
All right,
Well, it's like the horse from Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear Solid 5 would be pretty cool too,
D-Horse.
because that horse
D-Horse
could
is,
be like dropped out of a plane. That's pretty
but
ghetto.
but his name is D-Horse, and I'm gonna disqualify it for that.
Now, we're also leaving out one of the also important horses of video game history, the Shadow of Colossus horse, which I have forgotten the name of.
Aggro?
Aggro, thank you. I was going to call him Appa, and I'm like, no, that's not right. Well,
Abba.
yeah, Appa. I might pick Appa, honestly.
It's a dancing queen. Abba.
What?
Abba. Band. Abba. That joke
Appa.
just
Appa. Appa.
Opa!
Anyway, Adam, your pick is actually kind of realistic. You can make that happen.
Well, except for the the magically teleporting part.
Yeah, that's
true.
it. Also, Shadowmere. Don't forget about Shadowmere, since we're talking about
Shadow.
video game horses now.
Mm-hmm.
Are we on my pick?
Yeah, we're on you. Are you cycling through top 10 lists right now?
I actually just typed in video game vehicles in Google, and I'm looking through them. But actually, I don't ever plan on playing this game because for obvious reasons. But Final Fantasy 15, that car they have, I saw it doing its little transform into a ship, the plane thing. It looks really cool, and that's a really nice looking car also. So that might actually be kind of cool to have. Because I can't pick. Excuse me, I can't decide on anything else really. I'm sure there's like something ridiculous that I can imagine that is like zany that they've had in a video game. But I can't come up with anything. Go ahead.
What if you got okay, going back to the Twisted Metal thing, what if you got like Axel set up?
No.
Axel is like the dude attached to like the two giant wheels.
I still
Haven't we already talked about how that's impossible?
We've talked about it, yes. That's one of the things of video. That's one of the things that video games have done that I just cannot agree with in my history of gaming. Because I don't understand how he ever survives any of the Twisted Metal. It's like he gets shot once and he's done. I know he has metal limbs, but that doesn't matter. He doesn't wear a shirt. He doesn't even have cotton protecting him. Yeah, there's a lot of vehicles in video games. I just can't come up with.
Charlie's got a few suggestions here.
He does. He's got the Hellcat from Jak 2 and 3. The KG police cars. I don't
know what that is either.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Are animals vehicles? Is a very usual and accepted question. D-Horse poops on command, which gives him points, I guess. Warthogs from Halo, which is also a very good pick, especially if you do like Halo 1 Warthogs when they were indestructible.
That'd be kind of cool because if you got like one of those, if you ever got into a car wreck, you could just kind of like flip it back over.
Yeah. Oh, that's also true. They were indestructible and were apparently light enough for one man to flip by punching it, which could also be horrible if you think about it. Yeah, those were his suggestions, and I'm just like scrolling through vehicles now. There's F-Zero cars, which
that'd be cool.
Might be interesting.
But only if you're like in an F-Zero race, because otherwise you'll just like get in an accident immediately.
This is true.
What about the Normandy?
Yeah, if we're thinking big scale, yeah, I would actually. I don't know what all it has in it because the game's not out yet, but I think the Tempest looks really good. Do either of you get a look at it? The new Mass Effect ship? It's not the Normandy, which we've been on for 3 games, so I guess I'm happy with it.
How about a deep cut? What about that really sketchy carriage that takes you to that castle in Bloodborne?
What? No, why? I don't want to do that.
I've never seen this carriage, but
I was scared. Yeah, it's like a what's the name of the castle? Castle. Canehurst.
Yes, Canehurst.
Yeah, no, it's like this. It's like a secret boss area that you have to get through by doing some stupid chain of events thing. I don't remember exactly what it was, but you have to like get some item, and Myles has a thing.
I know what my favorite pick would be
All right, what do you
because
got? What do you got?
I want all my cars and vehicles in other games to be based off of this. There's an anime called Harlock, the space pirate, Captain Harlock. I don't know what it's actually called, but it recently had a movie, and he has this giant spaceship that looks like a pirate ship, kind of. And I'm gonna go ahead and look it up just so I can properly describe it. Captain Harlock's ship. I said that faster than I could type it. Anyway, it is a giant. It's like a very long ship, and it's a spaceship, of course, and it's called the Arcadia, and it has a massive skull on the front, like with skull and crossbones. It has like glowing red eyes, and it just spews smoke out of the back of it. And all of this is like, I know it's like, oh, you're such an edgy guy to want this ship. It heals itself. It gets in fights in space battles and heals itself. I'm pretty sure it's also sentient, so I want that.
Okay, all right. Then if we're gonna get into like anime vehicles,
No, no,
Well,
no, no,
anime,
no, 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 no,
anime.
no. It's in a video game.
oh,
It's in a video game.
Oh,
I made sure.
well, anyways, okay. At this point, I don't care because I'm already like across that bridge.
Go ahead.
Does like Howl's Moving Castle count as a vehicle?
yeah.
That is a vehicle. Under
It is
our
a moving
definitions.
castle.
Yeah.
So by these standards, can I say that Norman Reedus is a vehicle?
No, we're not. No. No, you may not.
Only if you're like a tiny little ghost baby, Jordan.
Are you a tiny little ghost babel? Is the
I
only way
don't know
you're
what
getting
I'm
enormous
playing as
reading.
in that game. I could be a tiny little ghost baby the entire time.
That
You
is probably the
haven't
most
told me
interesting
yet.
answer. Like a naked Norman Reedus as a means of transportation.
No. I don't accept. Uh, I feel like none of the pictures for the thumbnail this week are going to be serious at all.
They're all just gonna be different pictures of Norman Reedus carrying a fetus.
Oh,
So
please,
far-
I would.
So far, we have the Norman Reedus, the cosplayer. This gentleman down here who's joined us, who has not given his opinion on anything, but he's here for support.
I think he's already giving his opinion with the expression on his face.
Yes, he is. So we have that as one of our pictures. I'm gonna put the Harlock ship in. I'm gonna put Howl's Moving Castle in, and I'm gonna put in. Oh God, what was the first thing you said, Jordan? Oh, I'm gonna put in Metal Gear Rex.
Excellent, right?
Oh, can we track this dude down? Can we try to get the naked Norman Reedus dude like as like
Good.
a guest on our podcast?
An actual guest, yeah, we try.
Yeah, like maybe we could see if he's willing to podcast in like his costume. Like he would like literally be there with the baby.
Oh God.
Is he gonna do stuff for the baby too? Like, is the baby gonna actually like be a guest on the show too?
I don't
Of
want
course.
that. That would creep me out. That's going past my breaking point. That's too much for me.
This is like our new Deckard Cain. Like really.
Oh my God, this topic has gone infinitely further and more fun than I expected it to.
I would say that this entire episode's gone completely off the rails by this point.
It was fine up until that Kojima article. It was a normal run-of-the-mill episode up until Kojima started saying stuff that meant nothing.
Well, to all the viewers, thank you for making it this far, and congratulations.
Well, this is a sign of things to come, but I think it's going to be like 5 years before this game comes out. So.
Yep, it's going to be a while. Anyone expecting to get this next year is like, I don't know how you think games are developed. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and close up just because I don't know how long we've been going. I don't know.
It's been 1 hour.
Yeah, it's been about, yeah. Hopefully, it's not exactly the same length as another podcast that we put up and YouTube cancels it. Because that happened before. Fun fact. Anyway, our podcasting schedule is usually to record on Sunday afternoons and release about an hour later. If you want to know the exact times, we're going to have to wish Mr. Reedus goodbye because I need that the visual. So
Bye.
there, he's gone. That is our schedule. We should be back on it this weekend, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was my fault why we missed it last week because I did some
Myles
stupid
had a
thing.
hot date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. It was nice, but I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that right now. We record on Sundays, like I said, in the afternoons. That's the times. That's where you should be, twitch.tv/mongplays. On top of that, you can email us at contact.mong@gmail.com. You can find our Mong Twitter account at mong.com. The dot is spelled out. You can also find us on YouTube at Mong Network and Middle North Gaming Plays. Twitch channel is Mong Plays. That's where you should be when we're recording, when we're doing it live, and when anybody's streaming, such as Mr. Cian Savage, who's in the chat right now, he was streaming a lot this week. I did notice. On top of that, you can find us on Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram. Look up Middle of Nowhere Gaming. And you can check our website, which is middleofnowheregaming.com for all of our latest editorials, news, reviews, our faces, and anything else we have to say. Whether you like it or not, we are going to say it because freedom of speech and all of that. Also, if you want to be awesome and help us keep the lights on, because our website is not free to upkeep, and we do have to pay to have that freedom of speech. On the website anyway. If you wouldn't mind going to our Patreon and maybe tossing us a few dollars, if you cannot or do not want to, we still appreciate you listening and viewing and reading and anything you do to help keep the site up and get our name out there. We appreciate it all. We appreciate all our fans for whatever you do, even if you. I don't know, actually. As long as you're not a jerk, we appreciate you. And that's about it. If you want to find us personally on Twitter, the cast of MONG Podcast, you can find me at Fears Milk. You can find Adam at
Adam, or fanboy underscore Adam.
and Jordan.
JL_Fleur.
There you go. If you need to know how to spell those, you can check out the video version. It's in our little picture boxes, all podcast. And if you want to find Mr. Norman Reedus the fetus, we have no idea where to find him. I just wanted to put his picture back up. I want him to be there for the end of the podcast.
We'll get there. We'll see if we can meet him.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I'm sure he'll love to know he was featured, that image, in this podcast. He was up there for a good, 20 minutes or something.
Probably.
Yeah, so anyway, people, it has been fun as per usual. Thank you Thank you to everyone that was in the Twitch chat. Thank you anyone who's watching us on YouTube and anyone who's listening to us on Podbean or wherever you got the sounds of our voices from. We appreciate it, and until next time, I still need to come up with a tagline.
I'm hungry.
Not gonna make it. I'm hungry. Good night and good luck.
May the ropes and sticks bind you.
May the ropes and sticks bind you. I'm gonna think hard about that.
Well done, Adam.
May the ropes bind you. No, that sounds kind of BDSM-y. We're just gonna go ahead and cut off here. Y'all have a good one. Have a good week.